Hello again everybody, my name is Aaron and today we will be looking at the game XCOM Enemy Unknown on the iOS. So we'll have a look later on XCOM on the iPhone 5, and right now in front of us this is an iPad 3, and for XCOM fans this is fantastic because for the longest time there has been a few attempts at making the XCOM experience for mobile devices, right? You have Aliens versus Humans or whatever that was. I thought that I didn't really like it because very limited. But then recently there was this remake of XCOM by Firaxis, and it has been on the PC and the Mac, but now it's available for mobile. So if you're out running about, or if you have a long trip on the plane or on the train, this is a fantastic way to get your XCOM experience while on the go. So I thought I'll just show you how is it like, in case because this game is actually not cheap. It is $20, right, for an app. I mean, we are so used to 99 cents apps and $1.99, $2.99, $4.99. We are already thinking that it's really expensive. So this is $20, $20. But I must say that because this is a port of the full game, the experience is almost exactly the same. I mean, of course, apart from the controls, it's almost exactly the same, and the quality is fantastic. So I feel that $20 is worth it. Now, I've got a few games running, so you can resume your game straight away. And if you want, you can start. The games are saved onto iCloud. Now, I'm not sure, but it seems like we can't transfer games between devices. So that means if I were to have a game on the iPad, I can't have the same saved game on the iPhone, and vice versa. I've tried to look for ways around it. There are one or two articles on on the way around it, but I've not been able to successfully do it. So that's one thing to take note of. But as you can see here, there are different game slots, and within each game slot you can have multiple saved games. So you can basically each slot is like a different game profile, right? And then you can have, like, as you can see here, those of you who have XCOM, this should look familiar to you. Easy, normal, classic, with Iron Man. No second wave options yet. I'm sure they'll be implementing that in the future though. But right now, I have a Classic Ironman game going on. So let's just resume the game. Now, performance varies, right, between the different iPads because, of course, there's a difference in processing power and the graphics capabilities as well. So the iPad 3, it's okay.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research
Can
labs.
get a little bit laggy, and this is the ant farm. As you can see here, everything. So, let's go. I just restarted. I don't know. I find that I have no problems with Classic Ironman on the PC, but I seem to have a lot of problems in the game. So this is like I've restarted my game I believe this is the 10th time already. So anyway, let's go to research.
Hello, Commander.
Hello.
My name is Dr. Farlan. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place.
You can't skip cutscenes like that. That is one small little issue that I have.
First encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new.
So it's going to be a problem if you keep restarting the game because you're going to hear them talking, So that's one small annoyance. But apart from that, as you can see, the controls are very, very similar to the one on the computer. Like you want to start research.
Commander to engineering. Commander to engineering.
And you have the annoying announcements as well. Right, so like for me, because with this you can get with scope. You can get the scope immediately, so I tend to start with weapon frags.
I realize our troops have to put their own survival first, but every alien...
One way to skip
explosives against
this is to just jump into mission control. So if there are lots of people talking to you and you want them to, shut up, you just go to mission control. All of them will keep quiet. And I will not go into engineering because it's going to take some time.
Commander to engineering.
I tell you what.
Commander to engineering.
Commander.
Huh.
I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
Okay, so as you can see, this is really like the game on the PC or the Mac. But because this is an iPad 3, so it's one of the lower spec systems for this game, they have toned down the graphics a little bit. I just thought that this is pretty cute. Have a look at Dr. Shen. Check out, he looks very angry, right? Like he's gonna give somebody a beat down, like, oh, engineering mofo. So anyway, I just thought that's damn cute. Okay, so since there's nothing much to do now, let's go into a mission. So obviously, just to show how the controls are like, right? The game is surprisingly intuitive for the touchscreen. So, okay, let's scan for missions. Of course, as you can tell, those of you who have the PC or the Mac version, it's like graphical tone downs as well. Like here, there's supposed to be a lot of light rays coming out from the projectors, but there isn't any here. So there's no fancy change as well. Urban abductions.
We picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
So first mission, always engineers for me. So again, because this is a lower spec machine, so sometimes the controls you might have to like tap a little bit harder for it to respond. So there's nothing much we can do now. These are 4 of the guys that we have. So let's just start the mission. You can skip that.
Dropship has arrived. We'll be deploying to Russia for this one. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
Takes some time to load. Well, it loads faster on the iPhone 5. Because obviously it has a faster processor than the iPad 3. And Aaron, why don't you upgrade? I'm thinking of getting the new iPad mini when it comes out, but anyway, that's a different thing.
This is Big Sky. Strike team is touching down now. Standing by for your orders.
Roger, Big Sky. Reading you 5x5. Strike 1 has the green light for deployment.
So as you can see, this is the tactical screen. This is to end the turn. This is the menu, right? You can change difficulties and all that, but we're not going to. This is to go up the different levels. This is to go down. Rotate left, rotate right. And these are obviously the commands that you can give. So when you want to move, you can just tap where you want to move to. So you can double tap to move straight away. Like let's say, no, there are usually enemies here. So let's say I'm just going to move him up a little bit. First move, then Overwatch. So you just choose what you want. I find that the grenades are fine. So like when you choose a grenade, the reticle appears, then you just select the point of detonation. Same for the smoke grenades as well. The rockets though a little bit tricky because sometimes they tend to stick. For example, what the game does is that when you choose the rocket, right, it'll try to automatically target the nearest enemy, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to shift the reticle away. Small little issue that I found. And as you can see, when you pinch, it goes up When you want to move in closer, you just do the opposite of a pinch. You can flip the screen, okay. You can turn the screen like that. Okay, let's say I want to turn right, left as well. But you see, that's the problem, because I find the recognition for rotating the screen is a little bit tricky, because 2 fingers, right, you can go one level up, you level up and down without using the arrows, just using 2 fingers. But when you try to rotate, it sometimes thinks that you are not rotating. So as you can see, it's not very sensitive in that sense. Sometimes it works well, but like like right now, come on, turn left, and it thinks I'm pinching. So come on, man, rotate. So that's a small issue that I find. The rotation, the gestures for rotation is a little bit tricky to execute at times. So why don't we try to get ourselves into a combat situation, but we'll not do it now. And we have a heavy, so I can probably show you how. No, that I'm not going to activate any enemy units now. We will wait until the next turn. Before we go into combat, then you can see how it's like in combat. Lots of sectoids. Now, so like just now when you saw I do the Overwatch on the PC, is very easy. You can just tap Y, tap Y, tap Y, and you very quickly put everybody on Overwatch, right? For example, but here, they did the same. What I think is a stupid thing for the command menu. So like sometimes the second button, sometimes the second button is Overwatch, but like for him the second button is run and gun, and Overwatch is third. So you can't just tap 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 all the way, because sometimes you might accidentally fire a grenade, or you activate run and gun. So I like to do things quick once I've settled all my first moves. So I find it a little bit of annoyance. But anyway, let's carry on. So Janus Vos, you're a support. Let's bring our heavy up first so that I can show you the rockets. Oh, nobody here? Okay. And let's move up slowly.
X-rays.
Oh, there you are. Okay, let's see if I can just target. As you can see, it automatically picks a target in its view, and sometimes, now it's fine, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to move the reticle away. And then a rotation problem again. Okay, so anyway, very similar to, so you can tap, you can just like on the PC, you can click here or you can tap here to show the enemies that are available. The switch between soldiers, you can't press tab, but you can tap on them directly, right? Or like, let's say if you're very far away and you just want to see who's next, you can just swipe the name and it will bring you to the previous or the next soldier, right? You want to change weapons, like you want to change him to a pistol, just tap the weapons, very easy. So it's actually, most of it is, the controls are very well done, very intuitive, very easy to use. Let's just move our soldiers up so we can do some firing. And of course the fantastic music by Michael McCann, the same guy who did Deus Ex Human Revolution. And we have a flank here, so we will take this shot. 2 damage. Come on, you flanked him. Okay, anyway, that's XCOM for you. Oh, you have a flank as well? Okay, that's good, but we don't want you to waste ammo. 1 damage only, so we'll take out a pistol. You will take the shot. So 1 sectoid down, 1 to go for now. It's too far away. we can do a run and gun and move up, but I will not do that now because this is a game review. This is not a let's play. I'm actually recording a let's play XCOM Enemy Unknown Classic Ironman to save all the countries for the PC, but that's a different playlist. And why don't we just jump into the iPhone version so that you can have a look. Okay, let me get the camera to focus. Okay, this should be much better now. So as you can see, our controls are very similar. Let's resume a game. So this review is not really, how good the game is. The game is fantastic. Okay, just buy it. But it's more for those of you who have reservations about playing this game on a mobile device like the iPhone or the iPad. So as you can see, this is the iPhone version. Controls are pretty good as well. Very similar. Definitely smoother than the iPad. Right, this is the main menu. Mission control. I believe why it's smoother because this is a smaller screen. You have to push out smaller pixels, and it has a more powerful processor as well, if I remember correctly. But looks pretty good. Let's see if we can get into a mission. Do we have a mission now? We don't have, so let's just push for one. Oh, there's a council mission here. Okay, these are the rewards we can get. So let's just launch a mission for the sake of it. Okay, let's go. You can skip this scene. The sound is coming for the iPad, so begin assault. So as you can see, the controls are very similar. It's actually very intuitive for playing like that, but it drains the battery very, very fast. So you can probably play only a couple of hours, I suspect, because there was once I played about 1.5 hours and the battery life went from about 98 to 40 something. So I believe at most 3.5 hours. Okay, it looks a little bit dark. Let's see if I can make this brighter. Oh, this is not the iPad. Okay, I'm not very accurate now, is because I'm actually looking through the camera's LCD, so everything looks really small to me. But let me just stick my head out to the side. Okay, here we go. So same controls. As you can see, it's actually much smoother. This is to rescue, what's his name, Peter Van Dorn. Right, then you can rotate the screen as well. As you can see, the rotation controls are much more effective on the iPhone. But everything else is the same. You switch soldiers here. You choose the abilities at the menu down here. This is to end turn, and again, you want to move up to cover. You just double tap and move. Switch weapons as well. You just tap the weapons. So it's actually fantastic for both the iPhone and the iPad. You don't have to buy them separately. Okay, you buy once and it works for both. I didn't pay $20 twice. This is just one copy on two games, one copy on two devices. So the main difference is, the main issue that I have is, apart from the slight control shenanigans on the iPad, is that you have to play different games on the iPad. If there is a way around it, I'll post maybe a link on the video or below in the description, so keep a lookout for that, or you can try and Google it yourself. But yeah, so if you're a big XCOM fan, right? And if you're thinking of getting the game on your iPad or the iPhone, I hope this should put your mind at ease about the controls. As you can see, very intuitive, apart from a little bit of the shenanigans on the iPad, which I believe is because of the slower processor. So it's like, you know, on a laggy computer, sometimes you have to click a few times before the command goes through. Same here, so you have to tap a few times, or sometimes the commands, the rotate commands, it doesn't recognize it properly. But yeah, so go ahead, if you're an XCOM fan, you must get this game, and I hope you find this review useful for you, and I hope you'll like and subscribe. Please share the video as well, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.